independent hoe, I'm all about my business. I consistently continue to bring energy, and on that keep it popping like I'm full of electricity. Try to hold me out, I wish you would have the audacity. Take a rap laxative, now I'm shitting on the industry. Self-made, not a title, cause it's my identity. And wear it on my skin like it's a part of my ethnicity. Mary keep on blowing like instruments in the symphony. That keep a player buzzing like Twitter when you mention me. Being 100's a everyday living tendency. And ain't faced by hating, it makes me increase my intensity.
What is good? How is everybody feeling? What's good on this hump day? Y'all know how it is on hump day, man. You know, ain't nothing but your super fan from the DFW land, the one man, four size and flavor of DFW Sports. Just kicking flavor for all my favorite teams where he grew up from, where he reside at, and everything like that. So, you know, welcome yourself into the sports booth of DFW where we talk everything DFW sports. But, you know, it's football and baseball season at the same time. We got a lot of things. This Wednesday, I'm making Wednesdays where it's everything about DFW, although Cowboys always is going to take the topic, especially when they in season. Got some things to talk about just at the live, man. I just want to shake with y'all, you know, just talk a little stuff up in there. You know, I've been watching, you know, yesterday we went to the open practice at Frisco, called day one of the opening ceremony that they got in there. I heard today was actually a better day because they had more stars that went up in there, you know, the older players that showed up. But, you know, yesterday was still a fun day, checking out the practice and everything like that. I'm going to go over how I felt the tempo was about that practice as me being a person that's been, you know, making it its third consecutive year going to the open practice. You see different tones because I saw two of Mike McCarthy's. This time I get to see one of Brian Schottenheimer's, and I just want to elaborate on the differences that went on in there and the things that I saw. Still got some video. I'm still looking to now. I done figured out how to really make the shows actually hit. So talk about that, and we'll talk about the Netflix series with the Cowboys, you know, the gambler and his, you know, Cowboys and all that type of stuff. So I'm getting ready to, I believe, start episode 6. Where basically it's about to get to the purchase of Deion Sanders. So we about to get to that part, and I will talk about what I've seen so far and some things I just want to say about that's flick that's going on right there. And then I got the Texas Rangers on deck. I got to talk about them. It's looking very grim for them boys out there on the diamond, but you know, unfortunately they still got many more. They still got 36 more games left to play, so they still going to have to figure it out and still try to weather it out. Talk about them here down the stretch. And then the Wings are playing the LA Sparks as well. They're in action right now. The Wings were in control, but now the Sparks have came back and took a rally. The Rangers are tied up 3 apiece. So that's some things that we got going on. So when I'm looking back up, like I'm saying, I'm trying to make it. I do try to make these like shows, but at the same time, I'm just more of a fan at the same time. But I feel like I don't want to say I know my shit. I just watch these boys all the time, and you know, I interact and I try to bring y'all into the trenches of how we represent all, you know, some people just represent the Cowboys or just the Mavericks. I'm representing all of them. So I'm peeping back up. I'm checking out the scores right now. We still locked in with the Rangers and Royals right now. They're still down 2 games in this series. The best they can do is split. Your boy Wyatt Langford got him a solo home run. Seager then came in and, you know, gave some support and everything. So it's just one of those games where the game, if it continues to be close for the Texas Rangers, you're nervous because they don't have a closing situation and you don't know if their offense can actually generate more offense. So yeah, it's one of those type of situations. The Wings, you know, no Enrique Ogumbawale tonight. She been ruled out. So it's just they've everything is new with them right now, and the pieces keep falling and not being able to be healthy and put together. So But with that, let's go ahead and jump into it, man. I wanted to, of course, let's just start this off with the Dallas Cowboys, of course. Let's start it off with them. Now, before I go into the Netflix series and stuff like that, like I said, I was at the practice yesterday, and I can say for going for the third year in a row, I don't want to say something seems different because those last two, you had Michael Parsons in the building. So, yeah, that could be a whole other thing within itself. Okay. I see you, Armstrong, with the punch out. But just how much they were, I don't want to say they had a sense of urgency. I don't think that's the right phrase. I would probably say more of the lines of they knew what they wanted to do out there and what they want to accomplish type stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I'm trying to be careful where I'm phrasing it, because I don't want to sit there and say like Mike McCarthy and them did not know what they were doing. It's just last year's training camp, you could just tell the vibes. Just it was like, this is it type vibes. This year is more of, okay, it's time for us to, maybe they done seen the series. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they watched the Netflix series and they're like, you know what? This stops here. Let's take practice way more serious. Is the vibe I got out there. I keep telling y'all, unfortunately for Joe Milton, until he shows he's the guy to be the backup, they're going to be in problem because you're going to have to waste the extra roster spot to have a backup behind him because you're not sure. You go Armstrong with another punch out. There you go. Like I said, Wednesdays, we represent everybody. Everybody. But your Cowboys, what I did see in the practices is the defensive line did seem way much more better. It seemed like the linebackers knew where to be. They knew their gaps, situations. Defensive line, all I know is this needs to translate to Friday, yo. Maybe it's because your offense, you done seen what they do and all that type stuff. But, Dak being in the pocket, trying to see how it look. I still got some video. I was gonna make a video and just pull up my clips here, but I got a couple shorts in there if y'all ain't already checked out. But let's see. Let's see where we at. I'm trying to think who was at tackle at that time when they were doing what they were doing. They had Nathan Thomas out there. But the running back room looked like the way it's set up now is Javonte Williams. Then it's your boy Jaden Blue, the way I was seeing them going through their running back position drills and all that type of stuff. And then the sequences that they did with the offense, it looked like it's Javonte Williams, Jaden Blue. After that, who was it? I think it was Hunter Lupick, Deuce Vaughn, and shit, why I cut it. That's why I wish I had my clips up, but it's all right. You saw the running backs. Y'all heard it. I don't know what the DJ was on, but he was on some other shit. But the practice, bro, I'm not going to lie. The practice seemed like they knew what the fuck they wanted to do. What I didn't like was Michael Parsons and Stephen Jones being this far apart from each other. He islanded me out. I should have stayed, but it was time to move. Yeah. Damn, I wish I was showing y'all this right now, but the Cowboys practice, bro. I'm taking it as, bro, Joe Milton. Y'all like it or not, they're gonna have to ride that train out. Cause I told y'all in the last film session, bro. Y'all sitting here getting on Joe Milton, bro. Will Grier ain't that much better, bro. He ain't. And I think some of y'all are seeing that, like, bro, he's not that much more better. He's not. So y'all gonna have to figure out. Look, you're gonna have to figure out, okay, we're just stuck in the situation that we're going down, and we just gotta hope that Dak does not get hurt. So you got to protect him at most cost. And how do you protect your best asset? You hope this offensive line is good, and you're gonna have to run the damn football. You're gonna have to run the football, which means the defense, y'all got to get off the field on third downs, bro. That's what all this boils down to. Because there was some throws there in that practice, bro. Will Grier, he was missing them. You know what I'm saying? He had a good open play for a touchdown, and he ended up overshooting. I don't think it was Trayshawn Holden he overshot, but I think it was Kelly that he overshot. But it was there. What I did see with Milton, though, I see what they like about him. I'm gonna be real with y'all, bro. At that first practice, Joe Milton had a good practice, dog. From when they were in the end zone, throwing the accuracy balls where you got the netting and they got the pinpoint targets. Bro, he was on the money. More times than not, he was on the money. He got in his play action boots, sitting in the he was throwing touch passes, finding his bro. I see what they like about him. There's some things on film that he does do good. That he really does do good, but let everybody tell it. Everybody's saying he's played bad. He has had his struggle, but I see what they really like in him, and they're going to give him every opportunity to present himself to show what he's capable of. I don't even think it's just for the Cowboys, just for his own NFL sake, his own NFL career. That's what I think. Now, defensive side wise, if really, bro, all this just depends on is Mozzie gonna come around or not. Because if Mozzie can come around, then their defense will be straight. But I wouldn't hold my breath for it. But I think Solomon Thomas has been that's gonna be a great pickup for us. Just what do they do at that fourth defensive tackle situation? Are you really riding with Winfrey like I think they will? Or is it Toa in there? Do you roll with him? All right, Cody Freeman. Top of the ninth right now. And he gets put out. But this is all going to matter if they can run the football. And like I said, they're going to have to, hopefully they can actually do it. If you're doing it running back, if you got this type of depth, I just don't think they're going to run the football like that. I really don't. And why would you when you got George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb? To see George Pickens in person, that was something nice. Dude, nice, bro. Yeah, bro. Like, it's crazy because for the last few years, you have seen CeeDee Lamb basically be that most talented guy out there. Now he had a guy right next to him, just same in stature, bruh. Like, I'm looking at it like, bro, to have them two on the outside, that is going to be something you're going to have to really pay attention to. You're going to have to really pay attention to that. That's going to be work right there. Which what you're hoping is what that does is free CD Lamb up to make him eat more so you can't double team. And then at the same time, that should make the running game that much easier. So I hear him talking about running the football, but I don't think they're going to keep that many running backs where they will run the football like that. They need to just find out who their backs. And I guess they're thinking it's just going to be Javonte Williams and Jaden Blue. I think Maffa gets a crack in there. I think he gets the last spot at that running back spot. I like to see the extra things that they get going with Hunter Lupick. I've always said, bro, you can use him. I think he can be a big weapon. Especially if looking at what you're thinking about your tight ends now. I think we did see Schoonmaker walk off practice a little bit earlier. You know, I didn't really give any word what happened with Schoonmaker, but yeah, man, practice did have a different feel to it. It had a different energy. I'm not gonna say that it was like, I'm not saying that to discredit what Mike McCarthy had going on. Because to be honest, the first time I went to the open practice at the Star was 2023. And that season, they did have a good energy about them. Now, 2024, that had a, like, you know, this, hey, guys, well, we're just going to ride this out type vibe. But this one had a type of energy to it where it's like, okay, I think they hear the noise. I think maybe they might understand. But yeah, they still got to come do it. But to see Micah Parsons and Stephen Jones not even 5 yards apart from each other and don't even want to acknowledge each other's presence is so reminiscent of what is going on with when you look at that documentary that's going on right now with the Cowboys. You know, The Gambler and his Cowboys. I look back at that, man, and for number one, Michael Irvin, we want to say Jimmy, we want to say Jerry, but Michael Irvin, you could arguably say he was the leading operator of that machine. Because basically, once Jimmy came in, Jimmy knew he could trust Michael Irvin's word. Because he knew what Michael Irvin was about. And Michael Irvin really shaped that team. He really did. He really shaped that team. And now, the shit between Jimmy and Jerry, bro, for years we kept saying, this was all Jerry's fault for him getting in the way of Jimmy, not letting Jimmy run his show the way he's supposed to because he wants to take all the credit. You know what? Being a Cowboy fan, and as much as a brother been on Jerry top about being a GM, good job, Seager. Seager with the base hit. The thing about what we blame Jerry the most about him wanting all the credit, I don't think that's what broke him and Jimmy up. You know what I'm saying? Looking back at that documentary, I don't think that's what broke him up. If you're a man, there's just I guess there's some things that are like unspoken, unwritten codes that you know you don't need to cross type things. And I think what happened between these two guys after success became paramount for them I think Jerry, did we say he was in the way a little bit too much? That, yes, I can agree with. I think he was doing way too much for a guy who's supposed to be the GM and all that stuff. But at the same time, what do you tell a guy who spent everything on something? You see what I'm saying? Like, as a man, it's like, hold on, bro. If you paid for that house or whatnot, you feel what I'm saying? Like, it ain't no discussion types thing, you know? But Jerry did overstep his boundaries because out of his own mouth was, look, him and Jimmy is going to get together. They're going to pull this off. I will handle the business side and you'll handle the football side. That came out of Jerry's mouth. Then once they started getting successful, Jerry is appearing more in the locker rooms, on the sideline, you know. And I think Jimmy felt gypped by it, bro. Like, hold on, bro. You said you were going to deal with the business, and I was going to take care of the football operations. That's what you told me. Now that we're having success, you coming in here and, you know, and it looked like Jimmy was a flat out asshole, bro. But that's kind of what that squad needed. Ain't no kind of, that's what that squad needed. Rangers, there we go. Clear the bases. Let's go. What? Hold up. Higgy with a clearing bases situation. What? 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 Higgy done cleared the bases, y'all. A 3-run RBI. Rangers up 6-3, top of the ninth. And they about to, with a bloop from Josh Smith. And they keep the 2-out rally going as we break the news right there. But looking back at Jerry and Jimmy, bro. We blame Jerry for the longest. And like I said, to me, Jerry did, look, bro, you said that you was going to handle the business and he was going to handle the football side. You did seem to kind of overstep yourself, like, of what you said. Now, both of y'all are man's man and y'all word is y'all word. Okay. Jimmy took that to heart for some reason when he started basically, a lot of us see coddling, but Jimmy wasn't the one to pat his players on their ass and all that and tell them they doing good. But what did Jerry do? He did. Now, a lot of people going to sit there and say, bro, you can't be doing that. But I think everybody who's worked a job, you would like for the director of the owner, you know, not to just see you as just a numbered employee, but not just walk past you and not say nothing. You would want the owner to at least, okay, I know y'all out here doing the grind. How y'all doing? Good morning. Da-da-da-da-da-da. You would at least like that, right? So this is kind of where I'm like, damn, bro. Now, I'm not absolving. Jerry still has some things that he's blamed for. But now that I done grown up, and now you kind of look back at that documentary, you see what's going on, you're like, bro, Jerry wasn't wrong, but he wasn't always right. And Jimmy wasn't wrong, but he wasn't right neither. He really wasn't. There you go, Rangers. I think Jimmy, though, to me, they split, but they both felt the same way. They both felt betrayed. But I think this could have been nipped in the butt had, it's just like today's time. It's, this was 30 years ago. This is just like today's time. if you feel some way about somebody or something like that, or if you're kicking it with somebody and you feel some type of way about whatever's going on or whatever they did, don't really hold on to it, because there's an opportunity for you to at least talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Because had Jimmy let Jerry know, hey man, like pulled him to the side, had a conversation. Remember what you told me when we first took this over? Like, we're in this together, but you told me that you would handle the business side and I'll handle the football side. Well, I kind of feel like, you know, you kind of like you're pushing on my toes when I don't give the players props, because I need them to be on the edge if we're going to be successful type stuff. And you coming over here kind of, had you just said what you felt, which I think that's what it was. You said you were going to handle the business. Every time I look up after a game, after all this success, you in here shouting with the players, talking to the players and patting them and kiki and all that type stuff. And then you bringing your pals in, you bringing it out more in the media. Like, bruh, stop dragging me out here like this. Let me just handle the football stuff. You started making it more, you made it this brand. But I'm not faulting Jerry for that. Jerry said, bruh, the money was funny. Jerry said the money was funny. He had to do what he had to do. Not only did y'all need to win, but y'all had to win in a certain type of fashion to make this pull off. But I think Jimmy, had he just nipped it in the butt in 92, when 91. Had he nipped it in the butt in 91 when they first had their good, successful season, had he nipped it in the butt and said, Jerry, look, we're in this together. I know you're the owner. I know you bought this team. You brought me in here. You gave me this opportunity. I know that. I'm cool with that. But you said that I would basically handle the football things. Let me do that, man. And I'm not saying you're not letting me do it, but I feel like you're undercutting me doing this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? When you run in here while I'm addressing the team and doing that type of stuff, you just turn the attention because you are the head figure boss, literally speaking. But damn, just work with me on that. At least let me address the team. Let me do what I need to say to the team, and then you come up in there. Had he said that to Jerry, I honestly think Jerry would have been like, you know what? I didn't know I was stepping on your toes like that. Jerry is just more of, I'm dug into this just as much as you are. Because they were both dug into it. They really were. Jerry having chest problems because he ain't sleeping. He grinding. He done brought his family all the way out from whatever and he done spent their whole fortune on the Cowboys. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of sleepless nights. But I think had Jimmy just had that conversation, look, I'm feeling like, you kind of, you know what I'm saying? We're kind of going back on what we were talking about. Now, Jerry's perspective, this is where I saw where, you know what? Jerry had to do what he had to do, bro. As a man, Jerry had to do it. Like I said, you buy a house, bro, it's most likely under your rules, right? You just ain't gonna let somebody come in your house, regardless how great they maintain it or whatever, basically tell you, fuck you. And let it go by unscathed. Nah, bro. Nah, bro. It don't work that way. It don't work that way, bro. As great as Jimmy was, bro, you can't do that, bro. I'm not saying that's not what came out of Jimmy Johnson's mouth. But Bobby Belt just quoted it from 105.3 The Fan. I see that he's basically watching it too, but he got the one quote. He basically got it on here, but it's basically where it was after the 92 season, after their back-to-back Super Bowl seasons, they're at some type of NFL party or whatever that's going down in Florida. And, coaches are there and everything like that. And Jerry recognizes the faces that he sees. And he lifts up his champagne glass and toast. And basically to the people he see, Dave Wanstead, Norv Turner, and Jimmy Johnson, along with their family. Basically a toast to them and say, congratulations to their back-to-back winning seasons, Super Bowl winning seasons. And everybody lifts their glass up but Jimmy Johnson. Now, I was like, damn, bro, okay, he didn't lift his glass up. Is that really, you know what I'm saying? What's that really about? But they all said, bro, Jimmy just, his demeanor, his defiance to even like acknowledge Jerry, but he just looked at Jerry with this fire in his eyes, bro. And this is Jerry's quote, and I'm glad he wrote it down. Jerry basically said one of the advantages of knowing someone for years and years and years is that you can often communicate with them. You can often communicate with nothing but the eyes. No words has to come out, but you're talking to me, baby, and we're talking. Basically, Jerry proposed that toast and was like, congratulations on our back-to-back Super Bowl winning seasons. And he see all the coordinators and everybody in compliance with it. But the guy that he's won the national championship that goes back to college with and that was brought into this and went through the suck, and all of a sudden they're the best. Not only is he not raising his glass for a toast, he's arms folded and eyes of basically saying, fuck you. What'd he say? One of the advantages of knowing someone for years and years and years is that you often can communicate with nothing but eyes. No words has to come out. And it paused. Then it brought him back. But, you're talking to me. He noticed. You got a problem with me. Oh, we're talking. We're talking, baby. Jimmy just basically was like, Jerry, fuck you, bro. Like, you reneged on what you said. And I just felt this could have been handled before they won the Super Bowl. You could have told him, look, bro, you know what I'm saying? But something in Jimmy was just burning, bro, where he did not want to respect Jerry no more. He didn't respect him, bro. And for as much as Jimmy has done, I'm not going to say he's wrong and I'm not going to say he's right. But, bro, somebody buy a house, let you, and you just like, fuck you. As a man, bro, Jerry can't let that ride, dog. And I think Jerry has gotten his fair share of criticism, but he was getting a lot of criticism up until that point anyway, bro. Like, not only did he buy the team, the Southwest Conference days already was there. So you coming from Arkansas already rubbed people in Dallas a little bit funny. And then you fired Tom Landry. Then you bring in not only a rookie head coach in the NFL, you bring one from Miami that got all the, oh, man. Nah, bro, like, I think what happened with Jerry I don't think it had nothing to do with Jimmy Johnson, bro. And I think this is where they got into it on some misunderstanding type shit, bro. Rangers pull it off. I think it was a misunderstanding, bro. I really do. Because I think Jerry, we want to say he took all the credit, but why are you always around? Well, damn, y'all were blaming, y'all were ready to send me to whatever. Y'all was ready to off me type stuff. Every chance you get, you said me buying the Cowboys was a bad investment. You said me firing Tom Landry would never get this franchise anywhere. Me hiring a college coach with no NFL experience, me trying to be the owner and the GM, y'all took all y'all shots. I'm just saying, as a man, bro, as a man, just look at it from a, forget Jerry, forget the guy. Let's just look at the substance of the situation. As a man, bro, you take all those shots and then all of a sudden, forget the Herschel Walker trade. Who cares who idea it was? Who cares? He got 3 Super Bowls out of it. I don't give a damn whose idea it was, to be honest with you. Who cares? Who? Not I. Not I. But, you know, to take all of that was going in, and now you're starting to see the fruits of the labor actually present itself, yeah, you're going to walk around and you're going to do a little bit more. That's just human nature. You're going to pump your chest out a little bit more because y'all was the one that threw daggers before you gave me a shot type shit. I'm just speaking as a, forget Jerry as the body. Just put yourself in the situation if you would have did all that. So, yes, I would have walked in. I think Jerry did this if everybody's saying he was stepping on Jimmy's toes. I think he did it I don't want to say unintentionally. I don't think he did it with that intent. He did it with the intent to be like, bro, y'all took shots. Y'all been taking shots at me for the longest. Now we're winning, and now I'm giving y'all more content and money and all this stuff. I'm bringing money into y'all. Yes, I'm going to walk around like my shit don't stink. What? And I'm the owner of the motherfucking team. What? You know what I'm saying? Come on now. Come on now. I mean, yeah. So I think that was more that what was happening. I don't think Jerry was trying to show Jimmy up. I honestly believe I don't think that was the case. I just think Jerry took so much shit for the fruits of the labor actually to start panning out. He couldn't help himself but to drop himself in there. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even think it was more of he was right or he had more to do with it than Jimmy. It was just more of y'all didn't give me a chance when I said we could do this, because he kept saying we. He never said y'all didn't think that I could do this. Y'all didn't think we could do this. You know, he did include Jimmy in that. And I just think once it started getting good, Jerry he got different. He got different, but I don't think he did it with the intent to feel like he was stepping on Jimmy toes. Now, like I said in the beginning, I think Jimmy should have said something. I think he should have addressed it, but you let it fester. And then when you let it fester, the signs get there. You know, now every time I come around, you always want to disappear, or you know what I'm saying? It's always something when I come around. So now, okay, we're not talking about it because we're winning. When we're winning, everything can bridge under the surface, but it just got to a point, bro, where Jimmy had this shit built inside of him, and every turn he got, he wanted to let Jerry know that he felt some type of way about him. Instead of saying something, he just let his body action and the eyes, that communication he talking about, he let it send off the wrong message. But Jerry, to his credit, kept letting it slide. Like, he didn't understand what was acting like he didn't. I don't think he knew what was behind it. He knew Jimmy had a problem with him, but he didn't know what was driving it. And this is where I'm like, Jimmy, you got to say something, bro. If you felt like he reneged on it, what he said, then you need to remind him of that. Don't just sit there, bro, and hold them feelings in your chest, because now you made a situation that could have been ironed out. You made it to where it's not gonna work, bro. They made it to a point where it was almost a point of no return. And Jimmy they're both at fault. They're both at fault. But Jimmy expedited it. I think he expedited it. He felt some type of way. He never explained it. So for him not to explain it, he just showed his disdain for certain things of Jerry. Jerry felt it, probably kept letting it slide. And then that day after they won the championship and he posed a toast like that, and he basically, with his eyes, said, fuck Jerry, that sent it over the top. And I think Jerry being the owner, okay, if you're up to all your players and you're cool with them like that, if you felt there was some friction, maybe you could have addressed it. Both of them could have addressed it, bro. I think that's the problem. Both of them could have addressed it. They never did. Jimmy felt some type of way, never addressed it. Jimmy felt some type of way, but he didn't know the angle. So if you notice somebody feels some type of way, but it's like, I don't know what you tripping on. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to even approach a person. Like, damn, okay, I see there's friction, but I ain't understanding why. And like I said, Jerry getting sidetracked because he's not thinking me showing up. He's thinking we're in this together. Yeah, let me be in here with you. Let me celebrate with the team. This is what we've done. That's how he's looking at it, because he's been taking the shots. He was the Dallas Morning News. Damn sure Skip Bayless. He got a whole career off of the damn Dallas Cowboys. Come on now. He got a whole career off the damn Cowboys. He skipped Bayless because of what he did in Dallas with the Cowboys. Dale Hansen, amazing for him. He got to be in the time where he pulled the plug on SMU. The next following, when SMU got the death penalty in 87, and then the next following year, you get Jerry Jones to come in and he fires Tom Landry. Oh, no. That's 89. It's 89. Right? He bought the team in 89. A couple years later, you get that. What? City of Dallas had a lot of things to write about, but they wrote about Jerry's ass, bro. I remember my old man reading the newspaper. He like, boy, Jerry gonna hang. They gonna hang Jerry if he don't get no Super Bowls, and he did. Luckily, he did. So I can see where Jerry's coming from, but to sit up there and just disrespect your boss like that in front of the whole league, yeah, bro. As a man, Jerry had to do what he had to do, bro. And in his exact words, when he grabbed Ed Water basically, that article he wrote, what Jerry gave him, blew his career up. And in his exact words, Ed Waters basically reporting, saying what Jerry's saying. He, they was getting ready to leave, and he grabbed Ed Water and told Ed Water, you need to stay for a little bit longer. And he's like, Jerry, it's late. You know what I'm saying? Da-da-da. He's like, you don't want to miss the biggest news story of the year. Basically sat there and told him, when we get back to Dallas, I am going to fire that. In the exact words, I am going to fire that motherfucker Jimmy Johnson. That disloyal son of a bitch. Ooh. What? Ooh, so for you to have that ferocity to say that type of shit to him, to want to feel that type of way, you knew Jimmy felt some type of way. You didn't address it. Jimmy felt some type of way, never addressed it. And then it just got to the point, look, you disrespected me for the last time and you disrespected me in front of public. Come on, bro. As a man, Jerry had to do what he had to do. He had to fire him, bro. He had to fire him, bro. Now, I know. A lot of us has been on Jerry case, bro. And like I said, I'm still on episode 6, I believe. I'm about to be on episode 6. So once I cut this live off, well, let me turn to the wings real quick. Once I cut this live off, we gonna dive into that. Probably watch another episode or two. Take us to bed right here. I will talk a little bit about the Rangers as well, but yeah, I don't want to say we've been too hard on Jerry, but I think we've misunderstood Jerry. Now that I don't watch this documentary, it has nothing to do about the cancer neither. I think we kind of misunderstood him because, like I said, bro, all of us, if motherfuckers been talking shit about you for so long, when you pop out and show motherfuckers all of a sudden, when you winning, you're going to walk with a different type of arrogance and you don't care who it offends. Jerry and Jimmy the same motherfuckers because Jimmy was the same way. He's like, bro, I'm not going to pat you on your back, but we're going to do things a certain type of way that is going to be a way that I have conducted. And I don't care if you like it or not. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is. I don't care about your feelings. Jerry, after getting the success, after y'all took all them, he got the same way. He got the same way, bro. And I just think it was a big misconception. Jimmy held on to the fact that when he said that when Jerry said he was going to take care of the business and he could take care of football, I think that meant he wasn't going to be like he got. But Jimmy, you had to say something. Jerry, hold on, bro. I mean, did I misunderstood? You said you were going to just handle the business and I was going to handle the football side. Is that not what you said? Now, look, I have no problem with you being the owner and being excited to be a part of this, but let me ride the ship before you come in here and do that. And I honestly think they would have paired out good because I don't think it ever was about the credit. I don't even think it was about the credit. Is it about the respect or was it about the word that they came into each other with? Because they, like I said, y'all know each other from college. Y'all won a national championship. Was it the agreement that y'all had that you felt he broke off of? And then I feel, Jerry, damn, bro, I risked everything and brought you in. You had no NFL skins on the wall. So I feel, Jerry, for you to sit here and say, I don't know nothing about football, that's fine. But don't come in here and act like you've got this world of NFL experience because you had none coming in. I gave you that opportunity to do that. That is actually the facts, bro. He gave him the opportunity to do. You didn't have no NFL head coaching experience or NFL coaching experience, period. You didn't have it. He took that gamble on you and gave you that. So it's not like, I think they just misunderstood each other. Jimmy's like, bro, I've won championships being a coach, but that was in college, bro. That wasn't in the NFL. So both of y'all were really equals. Y'all really were. Y'all were really equals. Y'all both came in this thing being equal. Y'all did. So I don't even think it was really about the credit. It seemed like it was really about some respect. And I don't know what the respect was about. Was it about what y'all agreed with coming into this? I don't know, bro. I don't know. But with me not telling it too much, I'll let y'all watch the rest. Should we do a live tomorrow? I don't know if we'll be able to. I'm thinking about going to the preseason game anyway. Friday. Talk me out of it, y'all. Talk me out of it. Because I don't think I should be doing it. Let me get to the diamond, though. Let's talk on the diamond real quick. The Rangers finally break through and get a victory, y'all. Oh, Lord. And I still think that their season is going behind them because they done already dropped 2 games against the Royals. They really needed to win this series. They needed 3 games in this series. But if you can at least split 2, that'll keep you from at least getting boat raced up out of there. But you're behind them and the Guardians, bro. You're sitting at 5 games back, and you're basically 3.5 games behind the Royals. So if you can win tomorrow, you still got to watch them, and then you're behind the Yankees. That soared up all of a sudden. You're 5 games back of the final wild card spot. There's been a lot of things that's going on. Jacob deGrom, he missed his start today. I think I want to say that it has something to do with some type of family issue. I believe, but Rangers, bro, I'm not gonna lie. Now that football season is coming around, I've just seen it's still a good enough baseball left, but y'all seen me at the vlogs. I done bought that season pass, so we've been up in there, bro. I just don't know, bro. They just whatever it is, they don't have all of it. They don't have all of it. Now, like I said, Houston, Seattle lost. That helps you. That helps you withstand, and then you were able to get a victory. So that at least helps you. You're going to have a series coming here with the Brewers coming here next, I believe. Let me look at this schedule. I still been paying attention to Rangers, but we've been heavy on the Cowboys here lately. But yeah, you got the Guardians coming this weekend. You got basically a 6-game homestand. You got a 6-game homestand coming up, starting with the Brewers and then the Angels, which will be at the Angels game next Wednesday. So next Wednesday, we won't be going live for the whole DFW, but we'll possibly be going post-game live of Angels and Rangers game 3. So we'll be looking forward to going to that live. After that, the Rangers play late night, so we can do some things doing that, getting ready to get to the football season. Should I go to the AT&T Stadium to parlay and do some things in there? But the Texas Rangers, bro, they're just holding on a wing and a prayer right now, bro. There's still 2 games under 500, 63 and 65 right now. Like I said, they're 5 games. They're 5 games out of the wild card. And I believe that they're the West, them boys is 6.5. So to be honest, look, as dire as it looks, they still have their chance. I mean, they have to go on a tremendous run, bro. They're going to have to go on 2 tremendous runs. If they can go on 2 tremendous runs, then they got a shot. They got a shot. But I told you this season is all going to boil down to their offense. Their offense has got to get it going, bro. And like I said, Wyatt Langford started off the day. He started off the day by walking off with a leadoff homer. That really got him started. Corey Seager came in there, got him a RBI as well, you know what I'm saying? And then, Kyle Higashioka, he did his thing to basically win the game, clearing the bases in the, 9th inning? Huge 2-out rally. Huge 2-out rally. Woo! That was a huge 2-out rally that ended up getting the Rangers where they needed to be. Finally getting them a victory, snapping a little losing streak. Bro, I'm at a lost words for the Texas Rangers because I'm almost at fatigue with them because they show they got, like I said, whatever it is, they just don't have all of it. They don't have all of it. Bochy, it's up to his bullpen situation, how he's trying to do it. But in a ways, the Rangers, I thought they quit in Toronto. To me personally, I thought they went on ahead and quit. They're still trying. Lord bless their heart. But I'm telling you, Adolis Garcia, I'm nervous for. I don't think you'll probably see him around. Josh Young, they might look to move on from him. There's a lot of things that you can move on from the Texas Rangers with right now. A lot of things. But my percentage of them trying to get into the postseason, bro, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. There's a chance, but I give them boys about a 2% chance. And the only way it happens if Seattle and Houston can collapse and they can just go on 2 good win streaks. They need to go on 2 good runs. And like I said, it's not if they got to about 7 games out of the last spot of the wild card, yeah, you could put a fork in them. But 5, boy, you teeted. If you lose tomorrow, I think that can seal your deal. But you win tomorrow, you split, you will need to win the series against Cleveland. You need to win that series. You will need to win that series. Got to. You lose tomorrow, you lose that series against Cleveland, season is officially done. Season will be officially done. I'm just looking at the timeline real quick, seeing what's going on. Got some things. The Dallas Wings are on the map right now. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and talk about everything real quick. Let's talk about everything. I heard the Mavs do got somebody else to, look into trying to find another spot where they can land this new facility for the Mavericks. I heard that went down. Texas high school football is getting down. I didn't even look at the schedule, so we need to do a live tomorrow. I don't know if we be able to have to. I'll see if the old lady, I think she's going to go get her hair and nails did or something like that. So Wings are down by 5 right here. Rangers do get the big victory, 6-3, clearing the bases. Higgy. Can't you see when this is how you win the game for me? Hey, bro. Rangers Twitter, they just about as toxic as fuck. Y'all crazy, bro. Motherfuckers be crazy. Bro, they got to go on like 2 runs, bro. They got to. They have to. Otherwise, you could kiss that shit goodbye. You can kiss that shit goodbye. What you got, Paige? Texas Rangers, though, bro. Hey, you know what? I've been down on the Texas Rangers, but I'm going to still be at the games. I'll still have a few games. So you know what? Let's be positive. Let's just keep positive. You know why I'm saying I'm going to be positive? Because I'm coming off this Netflix series, bro, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm actually going to have to step back off of Jerry for a minute. This thing with him and Michael Parsons, bro. What if it's actually the agent that is actually mucking all this up? The beef between the Joneses and Parsons. What if there is no beef between Parsons and the Joneses? Is that why they can stand that close to each other? You know what I'm saying? Without feeling some type of way. What if it's actually the agent that's causing this disruption? Because according to Jerry, him and Micah talked. They had something. And I'm pretty sure Jerry and Michael, whatever they agreed with, Jerry told him to take that to his agent. I worked with you and you like this. Let's see if you take it to the agent. Michael took it to the agent and the agent said, hell to the fuck no. Have him talk to me about anything y'all want to do. Y'all don't discuss nothing, no more about business. That is what my job is for. Michael went back and said that. Here we are. I just told you, Jerry, his thing with Jimmy was disloyalty. It had nothing to do about credit or anything. It was disloyalty. That's what both of them felt. Jimmy, you disloyal to your word because you said you were just going to handle the business, and here you are trying to, want to do all football stuff. But here's Jerry like, wait a minute, bro. You're treating me like I get it. You've been coaching way longer than me in the football field. I haven't done nothing football field, but I'm coming to learn everything with you. But in the NFL, we are right here. You had no NFL experience, just like I had no NFL experience with being a GM or owner. So both of y'all were right here. Both of y'all's failures and successes were dead even. And Jimmy felt like you were disloyal because you felt like you were a bigger football person or something like that. Like you felt like it's not the credit, but it's like Jimmy had this feel like you come in here like I'm proud of my investment type shit. I'm proud of the money that I spent type shit. And I guess it rubbed Jimmy the wrong way. This is what my money got me type shit. You know what I'm saying? I can see where Jimmy feels some type of way. But at the same time, like I said, if you're Jerry and you've been taking, as soon as you got the team, it was nothing but the worst that was coming at you. And all of a sudden you getting success and you winning the Super Bowls. Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? You might do some things that you not even know you doing. You might do some things that you not even know you doing. But it bees like that, bro. It bees like that. I'm happy for these Rangers at least. The Rangers come out and they get a victory. Like I said, they need to stack another victory on top of that. Hopefully they can stack another victory on top of that, and then they can get a series win against the Guardians, because if they can win against the Guardians, it'd be good to sweep, but even if you sweep, you'll still be a half game behind them. That's why this series was very important to win. But if you split, that means you're still in it. But you lose, it's going to put all pressure on you to win that Cleveland series, because I don't think you can make up ground unless the Astros and the Mariners fall on their ass. That's the only way I can see it. That's the only way I can see this happening, is if they fall on their ass. One of them is liable not to. All right, Wings, y'all was getting there. Come on now. Wings 9-26 this year, bro. It's difficult. It's a tough one. It's a brutal one. I'm trying to think if we're going to get into content tomorrow, man. I might just need to take tomorrow off because I think my mind is made up. Yes, we're going to the preseason game Friday night. So I need to try to check out with my new phone, my 15. Although last year I had this phone and it was all good for me to record through the game, but I went through this stretch where I had this bullshit time with Apple, and ever since then, it's like my battery do not last long for me to get the type of footage that I'm trying to get. So I got to do a practice run. I think it's only going to be 2 games that I go to this year anyway. Yeah, it's going to only be 2. Most likely 2. I say that shit, but y'all know how I get. I love popping up at AT&T Stadium, and it gives y'all a lot of more content. I love bringing y'all the content from within the stadium and the game confines. For all my people who root for any of the teams that's in the background, that's in the DFW. I love bringing y'all that fan experience to be like, bro, this is for y'all. You know what I'm saying? This is where we rocking with. So I know I didn't talk about much. I talked a little bit about the Cowboys. I've been watching the Netflix series that's been going on. I'm going to watch another series here because they about an hour long anyway. I'll probably finish it up tonight anyway and do it that way. So probably tomorrow I'll be off. But you know what? I'm going to probably try to see if I can do some shorts or something like that. If I was smart, that's probably what I should do, is just see if I got anything that's on my chest and talk about, make a short or something like that, see what goes down. But at the same time, tomorrow, probably what I will be doing is just looking over some Atlanta Falcon film, seeing how what they got that could possibly be an issue for us, and some things that'll be green light for us. So I'll keep that in mind. And like I said, Friday, I think I got my mind made up. We're going to pop up at AT&T Stadium and get the finale of preseason game number 3. I do already have the live stream set for September 4th for the Eagles and Cowboys. I'm just torn apart. Should I go? Because now I'm thinking I might not live stream because it all depends on my phone. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I'll have enough juice, even though I have something out there that can keep my phone charged. I just don't, I don't know how that's going to work for me to stay live during the whole game. So what we might do is like a couple of sections of it and get back, but we'll see. I'm still debating how I'm going to do that, or should I just kick it at the crib and give y'all my flavor of how I'm watching the game, or just kick it being in the content of the masses of the Cowboy fans. Should we do that? I think that's what we might do. Plus, we got the day off the next day and it's free. Why not? If you're going to do it then, do it big then. So that's how we're going to do. So tomorrow we'll be off. Friday, normally I would do the post game and running back, but we'll do that Saturday. We'll end up doing that Saturday. We'll run the game back and get ready for the all 22, break it down. Y'all know how we get down with that. So yeah, look for me to be dropping some content Friday, and if we go to the game and we get enough footage, a vlog is going to come behind it anyway. We'll try to make this a good vlog going in to that. So stay tuned for me Friday. Damn sure Saturday, I'm going to probably go ahead and set the live for the post-game rerun watch for the Falcons and the Cowboys, and we'll go over that, what y'all like and what y'all didn't like. So I'll catch y'all on the next live, man. Like I said, every Wednesdays we chop down everybody in the DFW, what's going on. Like I said, the Wings right now, they have came back and took the lead. They're up 63-59. It's a timeout by the Sparks. So the Wings are trying desperately. Paige Buckers is trying to will this team to their 10th victory of the season. I know they're well behind, but they're still trying to fight. The Wings have went on an 11-2 run in the last minute and 9 seconds. So are they rallying to come back to make it hold firm just like the Rangers did to go ahead and win it? Hopefully it's a good day in the DFW like that, and that's how we rocking. But if you haven't already, go check out the Netflix series over the Cowboys, Jerry Jones, the Gambler, and his Cowboys. Check it out. Check it out. And like I said, look out for me Friday to drop some shorts and stuff like that from the game. We'll be live. We'll be in there. Why not? Let's go ahead and do it. Y'all know my slogan. Make sure you do everything with love because love always wins. That's the law. With that, I am out, y'all. Peace.
Self-made independent hoe, I'm all about my businesses. I consistently continue to bring energy and on that keep it popping like I'm full of electricity. Try to hold me out, I wish you would have the audacity. Take a rap laxative, now I'm shitting on the industry. Self-made not a title cause it's my identity, and wear it on my skin like it's a part of my ethnicity. Mary keep on blowing like instruments in the symphony. They keep a player buzzing like Twitter when you mention me. Being 100's a everyday living tendency, and ain't faced by hating, it makes me increase my intensity.